come here, it's fine. If I come here, here is extremely low, but I can play any band across the entire fretboard and nothing's going to fret out. So for example, most guitar players like to play with low action, which the distance between strings and frets, because the lower the action, it's easier to play. But getting your action low without a lot of fret buzz involves three factors. So first of all, you have to have the correct truss rod adjustment, which I'll cover later when I talk about neck curvature. The second factor, of course, you need to lower the bridge, and as you lower the bridge, you get the strings closer to the frets. And the third factor, which gets very overlooked, and it's actually a very, very common factory problem, is when your nuts, or the locking nuts, if you have a Floyd Rose equipped guitar, is too high. So because when you have like a high nut or locking nuts, no matter how low you go with the bridge, your guitar is still going to feel uncomfortable because the strings are still going to be kind of high in this area, or very high, depends on how high it is. And then if you try to offset, by lowering the bridge even more, you're going to start getting a lot of fret buzz. So when I ordered this Carvin guitar, which by the way is a very nice guitar, this guitar unfortunately had a very high locking nut. So what I did, I had an extra Floyd Rose locking nut. Here's one. And I got a file. I put the file on a table and I actually filed the locking nut, so to lower the locking nut. So I think this is better than asking somebody to cut the wood, because if something goes wrong, it may be irreversible. So I think it's better to actually just file the locking nuts. So likewise, if your guitar has a standard bridge, a fixed bridge, you can always file the nuts with a nut file, to get, to lower the nuts, which is a pretty simple procedure as well. understand this issue related to unstable neck curvature, let's briefly discuss how to adjust the truss rod. I've seen a few tutorials online of people using special rulers and tools, but in my opinion, you don't need any of that. This is a simple adjustment that's not rocket science. So first, with your index finger, you press the first note on the 6th string, the thick string, and you hold it. Then with your thumb, the other hand, you press the 16th note on the 6th string. So here, then you hold it. And then without releasing the fingers, you stretch the index finger towards the 7th fret. So here. Now then you tap the 7th fret a couple of times and look at it. So like this. So one more time. Here, here, stretch towards the 7th fret, tap a few times against the 7th fret and look at it. If the distance between the 6th string and 7th fret is about half the thickness of a credit card, this is the easiest way for me to visualize this. Then your neck has the proper curvature. So this distance between the 6th string and 7th fret should be very little. Again, half the thickness of a credit card is good enough.